Welcome this afternoon inside the Shonwell Pavilion alongside Zach Koehler. I'm Cam Crossett with the Maryland Volleyball program. Takes on the Ohio State University. Both of these teams are coming off struggling seasons. Ohio State overall record of 3-17. On the other side for the Terps, a record of 8-14. The Terps have just one win in the Big Ten, with that lone win coming against Rutgers. First off, Zach, what are your thoughts on this match, and how can Maryland win this afternoon against Ohio State?
Yeah, obviously both teams coming in not having the best of seasons. Both teams coming in on losing streaks. Maryland losing 5 in a row. Ohio State losing 12 straight. But for Maryland, it's got to be defense first like it has been all year. They have been exceptional in getting blocked shots. They just need to capitalize on the mistakes that Ohio State will present to them, and they can walk away with a W here tonight.
Yes, definitely. Welcome back. Getting ready for the start of this match between Ohio State and Maryland. Maryland back to serve. Hattie Kennedy will be back there to serve for the Terps to start off this match. We'll get going shortly. Just one moment here. It's an amazing atmosphere inside the Sean Webb Pavilion, ain't it, Zach?
There's a lot of fans here tonight. Sorry, a lot of fans here this evening. It is Testudo Kids Club Day at Maryland University. Brought out the crowd in droves. Let's see if that packed crowd can spur their Terps on to a victory at home here.
Here we go. Kennedy with the serve. Over to Webker. Webker back to Wagner for the Terps. Malawal got it, but Webker blocked it. The Terps get the point. 1-0 lead early on.
That's a clean offensive play for Maryland. Getting it to their superstar, number 3, A.J. Malawal. That serve coming in with too much heat. Blocked out of bounds by Ohio State.
It's indeed so. Kennedy back to serve. Webker. Maryland has it. Over to Melby. Back to the Buckeyes. So they get the point there off of Hannah Jones. Knotted up at 1. Serve will go back to the Buckeyes. As Olivia Hasbrook will be back to serve. Hasbrook, a 5'8" sophomore from Eureka, Missouri. Wagner's got it. Over to Malawal. Malawal puts it down, and the Buckeyes can't get it. It's a point for the Terps.
2 early points generated by A.J. Malawal. She appears to be on her game this afternoon.
Back to serve for the Terps is Allie Williams. Williams. Webker headed for the Buckeyes, and that's a good spike by Webker. She knocks this one up at 2. Hannah Jones back to serve for the Buckeyes. Jones over the net. Wagner's got it. Malawal with the good spike, recovered by the Buckeyes. That was driven out of play by Mia Stoller.
And that one sounded like a gunshot in the arena. A.J. Malawal winding all the way back, sending that with force.
She destroyed that one exactly, Zach. And Malawal back to serve. Webker sets up. Stoller comes in front of her. Webker over the net. Melby's got it. Malawal with that strong spike. Just out of bounds as the Buckeyes tied up at 3. It's strong spike from Malawal. Has Ohio State on their toes here early. Buckeyes serving. Over to Wagner. Over to Warbach, puts it over the net. Back to the Buckeyes. Jones, over the net. To Wagner, flips it over to Warbach, gets a little touch. Over to Webker. Wagner's got it. Ball still alive. Jones. Spike there. Webker has got it, and Maliwan couldn't catch up to it in time as Ohio State gets the point.
And an unlucky bounce for Maryland on that one. Tips over the net, threw the defenders off of their timing, and that one just falls to the floor.
Webker serving for the Buckeyes. Hits the net. The point for the Terps.
And that's the first real error we've seen by either team. It's been pretty clean play to start this one. Back and forth play.
Yes, back and forth early here inside Shanwell Pivot. Melby, spike over the net. Tooman. He's got it for the Bucks. Williams for the Terps. Gives it out to Sidney Bryan, who checked in. The Buckeyes get the point. Good serve for the Buckeyes is Yoder. Over to Bryant. Wagner's got it. Quicker out to Maliwal, who hits the net and gives the Buckeyes a point. Buckeyes with the serve. Wagner has a touch on it. Over to Bryant. That's strong pass, gets it. Terps within one. Eva Rohrbach will be serving for the Terps. Goes over the net. Goes out of bounds. And a point for the Buckeyes.
And that one never really had a chance, just too much on that serve. Eva Rohrbach, who has been so good at the service line this year, an uncharacteristic mistake there from number 44.
Yes, indeed. Buckeyes will serve Tooman. Sidney Bryan has it for the Terps. Over to Drew Gokchen. Gokchen puts it back. Williams with a save. Over to Maliwal. Maliwal puts it over the net. Jones had it for the Terps. Stayed alive by Williams. Maliwal finished it off. A.J. Maliwal with a spike.
And another big spike for Maliwal, but really need to highlight the play of number 24, Ellie Williams, on that set, making two huge saves as we are at 6-7 here in this one.
Yes, Allie Williams was a difference maker on that one. As Tooman's got it. The whistle was blown. The point is awarded to the Terps. We are tied up at 7. Wagner is back to serve. Wagner over to Tooman. Saved by Jones. Jones winds up. Pass it over to the net. Williams has it. Williams over to Sidney Bryan with a strong spike. Saved there by Hesbrook. As Wagner has it. Over to Maliwal, who tips it and gives the Terps a point. 8-7.
And she had been doing such a good job of using that powerful spike, but just a little tap over the net, changing up the rhythm, getting the point for Maryland.
Yes. Wagner back to serve for the Terps. That one squeaks inbounds, and the Terps have a point.
Just a picture-perfect serve by number 26 for Maryland, placing that right on the end line. Great job by Lily Wagner.
See if she can do it again here. She's back to serve. As Jones picks it up for the Buckeyes. Over to Tooman. Tooman, strong spike. Gives them the point. As Mia Staller is back to serve for the Buckeyes. Staller goes over the net. Melby's got it for the Terps. Over to Bryant, who lifts it over the net. Holzbrook is there. Over to Jones. It's going out of play. Into the stands as Wagner dives for it. She can't get there. Ohio State has a point.
A great attempt by Wagner on that one, but that just goes too far out of play. All tied up at 9.
As Stoller back to serve for the Bucks. Wagner gets over in time, flips it out to Bryant with a little touch pass over the net. Tuman back to Jones, who spikes it down and gives the Buckeyes a point, leading 10-9. Stoller back to serve for Ohio State. Melby has it for the Terps. Over to Sidney Bryant with a strong spike, and we're tied again.
Just a picture-perfect 1-2-3 offensive play there for the Terrapins. Sidney Bryant cashes in on that one.
As back to serve for the Terps is Addie Kennedy. Tuman has it for the Buckeyes. Webker over the net. Kept alive by the Terps. As Tuman has it for the Buckeyes. Over to Jones. Wagner keeps it alive. Malawal has a hand on it. Keeps it on the Terps side of the net. Falling down is Williams. She gets there. Over to Webker. Keeps it alive. Over to Melby. Still in the air. Hellsbrook's got it. And the Terps finish it off with a point.
And another instance on a longer rally of Allie Williams being there to make the saves, make the plays, and Maryland takes the lead here off of that block by Duru Gakchin.
Yes. Eddie Kennedy back to serve. And that one just squeaks in, and the Terps go up by 2.
That's 2 aces they've gotten in this set where it's been just inside the line. Some great saves early from the Terrapins.
We'll see if they can keep it going early on here. As Kennedy puts it over the net. Tuman over to Jones. As Wagner has a hand on it. Williams serves it over to Malawal. And it couldn't quite get over the net as Ohio State has the point. It's back for Ohio State to serve. Be Hasbrook. Wagner has it for the Terps. For the Malawal, who gets it blocked by Kaya Castle for Ohio State.
That's 2 back-to-back plays where Webker and Castle were in on those blocks, making those plays for Ohio State.
This is Hasbrook back to serve for the Buckeyes. Hasbrook over the net. Wagner puts a touch on it. Melby flips it over the net to Hasbrook. Back on the Terp side of the net as Duru Gakchen finished it off, but Ohio State is awarded the point.
Landed just out of play, barely missed that one.
Timeout has been called by Maryland coach Adam Hughes. Excuse me, there's a challenge by the Terps.
It was a very close play on this near side. It's a good challenge, in my opinion, by Adam Hughes.
Yes, I agree with you. You almost saw like the on the Maryland side of the court, they almost celebrated that they got the point. It's almost as if they were awarded it, but then again, Hughes challenged it after he noticed it went out of bounds.
And that's always a good sign if the team thinks they're correct. And they get proven so.
And they get proven so, exactly. So the call is reversed, and the Terps get the point, so the Terps have an early 13-12 lead. That's a nice early challenge by Coach Hughes, as he is awarded the point. As Williams back to serve for the Terps. Williams over the net to Jones. As Webker winds up, Malawal is right there to block it. Still on the Terp side of the court. Malawal flips it over the net. Jones winds and fires, and she gets it. Hannah Jones gives Ohio State the point. We're back even at 13.
And that ball found its way through the block. If that doesn't get tipped at the line, you got a slim chance of blocking it from Hannah Jones.
Yes. Wagner. No, Melby was way out of play over the pep band.
That one almost went into the basketball hoop all the way up on the ceiling.
Yes, that was very high. AJ Malawal back to serve. That one's gonna go up into the rafters near the Ohio State bench, and Mia Tuman couldn't get there in time as the Terps are awarded a point. And a timeout called by Coach Oldenburg on the Buckeye side as the Terps have an early 15-13 lead.
And it's been back and forth play, but it's a good use of a timeout. Maryland on a little bit of a run, back-to-back plays where the Ohio State offense sent that ball straight into the rafters, and that's just not what you want to see. There's really no way out of a hole like that. So they're trying to calm it down, find their way through this. Down by 2, but still very much anyone's ball game in this first set.
Yes, exactly. Like you said, a little too much of the ball going into the rafters. They want to eliminate that.
It's been very clean play by both teams so far. They're doing their job, getting to their offense, finding ways to get points. This one could come down to the wire.
Yes, it could be. Both teams know they do need a win here, so they're fighting very hard.
And more importantly, both teams really need to get that first set. They've been shut out in their past 2 games, both of these teams. They've dropped 6 straight. So getting that first set, getting on the board would be crucial for both of these offenses. Get them feeling like they can really go out there and win a game. It's been a while for both of these teams, but this would be a great opportunity to do it.
Yes, it would be, and then they have to keep it going, whoever gets this first set here. As Malawal back to serve for the Terps. Whistle is blown. We're back underway. Malawal over the net to Tuman. Had a good spike there. Just flipped it over the net and gives Ohio State a point.
Great job by Mia Tuman. Has been such a great player for this Ohio State team the entire year. Leads the team in assists, 11th all-time in assists at Ohio State. She hit that mark on November 2nd in their loss against Wisconsin.
We have a sub, Mia Staller. She serves it over the net as Ava Rohrbach winds it up and gets the point. Back to serve for the Terps will be Haley Melby. Melby over the net. Jones has it. Tuman flips it up over near the out of bounds area. Back to the Terps. Wagner touch pass. Bryant is blocked by Tuman as Bryant has it. Good save there by the Buckeyes as Jones, Nevaeh Gauthier gets a spike there. Gets the point for Ohio State.
And it was a great save by number 15, Caitlin Hoffman, for the Buckeyes that set that point up.
Yes, it was. As Ohio State has it now. Tuman. Ashley Carr tried to spike it, and she indeed did, and we're tied up again, 16-all.
That was off from the start for the Terrapins. not able to field that serve cleanly, and it was all downhill from there on that point.
Yes. Stoller has a spike over to Sidney Bryant, who has it kept alive there by the Buckeyes as Allie Williams diving stop. Over to Sidney Bryant, over the net, Tuman. Back to Haley Jones, good save there by Melby. Kept alive by the Bucks. As Nevaeh Gauthier gets a spike and puts Ohio State up in front, up by 1, 17-16.
And both teams laying out on that point. Some great saves. This means so much to both of these teams getting back in the win column.
Yes, it does. As the Bucks have it now. Over to Nevaeh Gauthier. With back-to-back spikes, back-to-back points for Gauthier. It's 18-16 now for Ohio State. And a timeout is called by Coach Adam Hughes. What do you think his message is in the huddle, Zach?
Well, Ohio State's on a 4-0 scoring run. They've been finding their offense. Coach Adam Hughes, he probably, just telling, stay calm. You're still in this. It's only 2 points. You got a sellout crowd behind you. You really need to find some offense, break this scoring run. You're in this game still. You just got to keep fighting.
Yes, and the last thing you said, got to keep fighting. Those are strong words that hopefully Coach Hughes gives to his team as they trail just by 2 here early on inside the Shine Pavilion. This place is rocking right now, Zach.
Maryland Pep Band always does such a great job getting the fans involved, getting the teams pumped up. Creates a great environment every time they're here.
Back to serve for the Buckeyes is Abby Yoder. Yoder over the net to Rohrbach. Wagner tried to save it and hit the court before she could get a hand on it, and the Buckeyes are awarded a point. They're up 19-16. Serve will go back to the Buckeyes. Yoder. As the Terps are awarded the point as Yoder's serve goes out of bounds.
And that's a tough break for Ohio State. They were on a 5-0 scoring run, and to lose that on a service error, that always sucks.
Yes, it does. Frustrating for Ohio State to lose that one. As the Terps had that one wind up, and that was Lily Wagner who spiked it down to bring the Terps back within 1.
Some power on that one. Not often seen from Lily Wagner, but finding a way to score, get on the board.
As Rohrbach with the serve for the Terps. Over to Nevaeh Gauthier, was saved by Jones. As that one's going to hit the court, and the Terps tie it up at 19.
Some great plays on that one by Duru Gokchin. First with the block, then flipping that back over. It's all tied up, and there's another timeout.
Yeah, Coach Oldenburg is going to figure out how her Ohio State team can get back into this one. They're giving up back-to-back points to the Terps.
And a great job. Coach Hughes must have said something convincing. Out of the break, they find a way to tie this back up to the Terrapins, go on a 3-0 scoring run. We are 19 apiece, knocking on the door of 20. Getting into the final stages of this first set, it has been back and forth play.
Yes, it has been a very exciting one early on here in the Shonwell Pavilion inside the Xfinity Center on a Saturday afternoon. see Maryland players over there get into the music. The whistle is blowing, we're back underway. 19-0 Rohrbach back to serve for the Terps. Rohrbach gets it. A service ice and puts the Terps on top 20-19.
Redeeming herself from earlier with that error, now with an ace. Great way to bounce back on the service stripe by Eva Rohrbach.
Rohrbach with the serve. Goes out of bounds. Ohio State can't get up to it, and that's another Terp point.
Now back-to-back aces from Rohrbach.
As Rohrbach back to serve. As Ashley Carr gets up there and spikes it down for the Buckeyes, it's 21-20. As Mia Tuman back to serve for Ohio State. Tuman over the net to Bryant. It was blocked by Carr, and the Buckeyes are awarded a point.
Yeah, double hit there by Terrapin. Looked to be a great save. Unfortunately, a little bit too much, and Ohio State gets the point.
Yeah, we'll see if that will prove costly down the stretch. Wagner has it for the Terps. Malawal goes way up in the rafters, hits the ceiling as Sydney Bryant has it over the net to Hasbrook, over to Gauthier. Gauthier spikes it down, good save by Williams, over the net. Hasbrook's got it, over to Nevaeh Gauthier is blocked. Last touch for the Terps, and the Terps are awarded the point.
Yet another great save by number 24, Allie Williams on that one, setting it up. Great job of extending the rally and getting Maryland to find the point.
This is Wagner back to serve. As Jones over to Tuman, Ashley Carr gets a hand on it and she spikes it down and gives Ohio State the point to tie it up at 22. Back to serve for Ohio State is Mia Stoller. Goes over the net. Sydney Bryant has a hand on it. Over to Wagner. Back to Bryant, who lays it over the net. Saved by Hasbrook. Over to Webker. Nice block there by Duru Gochan. And the Terps have a point. What an amazing block.
And we've seen quite a few of those in this first set by Duru Gochan. Finding a way, getting up, blocking shots, doing what she does best. She leads the team. She's third in the Big Ten in that category. And doing it all game long.
Yes, indeed. Back to serve for the Terps was Addie Kennedy, but that hit the net as Ohio State's awarded the point. Hasbrook back to serve for Ohio State. That one goes out of bounds, and the Terps are awarded the point. Back up by one, 24-23 Terrapins. There's a set point coming as Allie Williams with the serve.
Crowd rising to its feet in the Shad Wall Pavilion now.
Williams over the net over to Jones. Tuman's got it. Back to Jones, goes way up into the rafters. Wagner's got it. Melby over the net. Good save by the Buckeyes. Webker over the net as Wagner's got it for the Terps. Over to Malawal. Back to Jones, and that one's going to hit the court, and the Terps get the point. 25-23. And that's all she wrote here in the first set, is that Terps get that early first set win. And that's what we talked about in the Open, Zach. They needed that first set win so they can maintain the momentum going forward in this match.
A big first set win, and it was defense first. A lot of big blocks for Maryland in that first set, leading to points. They get the job done when it matters most. 25-23, getting points down the stretch in crunch time.
Yes, exactly. We'll see how Ohio State can respond here in the second set.
Welcome back to WMUC Sports. I'm Zachary Koehler alongside my broadcast partner Cam Crossett. We saw Maryland take the first set 25-23, getting ready for second set action. Some points leaders through the first one. Ajak Malawal leads all scorers with 5 kills. Ashley Carr for Ohio State not far behind with 4. Hannah Jones also with 4. In terms of assists, it's Mia Tuman and Lily Wagner for both teams doing their thing respectively with 10 assists apiece. Duru Gokshin had 3 big blocks in that first set. Haley Melby following up with 2 for the Terrapins. Back and forth play in that first set. What can Maryland do to keep the momentum going in this second one?
I think they just got to start out early. I mean, if they get the points, they get the spikes early, they're going to have a good second set, but it has to start early, and it has to start from Malawal. Malawal's got to get going here and continue what she's already done here in that first set.
And we'll see if she can do just that. There's the whistle as we're going into second set action. Olivia Hasbrook will be on the serve for Ohio State. Sends it over the net. It's handled by Williams. Bumped up by Wagner to Melby on the near side. That one's blocked, kicked out of play by Gokshin, and a point for Ohio State. So now Hasbrook again. Here's the run-up. Sends it over the net. Bumped up by Melby. Bumped up by Kennedy. And now Melby taps that over. Handled by Ohio State. Bumped by Tuman. Spiked by Jones. That one's blocked. Maryland handles that. Ajak Malawal sending that over and out of play. Ohio State starts this second set with 2 early points.
Yeah, Maryland has to find a way to get back into it. Trailing by 2 early on here in the second set.
So here comes Hasbrook. Sending it over the net. Bumped by Williams, set by Wagner. Melby on the far side. Excuse me, that was Malawal. It was sent back by Ohio State. Either way, Gokshin bumps that over, handled by Ohio State. Tuman sends it to the far side. That one's spiked out of play by number 17, Webker. But a defending error by Maryland gives the point to Ohio State. So just when they thought they got on the board, it's taken away. 3-0. The Buckeyes lead this one in the second.
Yeah, Maryland has to eliminate those errors quickly.
And they got bailed out a little bit on that one. A service error by Hasbrook for Ohio State. Maryland gets on the board 3-1 in this second set. It will be number 24, Allie Williams, serving for the Terrapins. Sending it over the net is Williams, handled by Ohio State. Tooman sets that, and that's in bounds. What a spike by Reese Webker, getting on the board again. And Ohio State leads this one by 3, 4-1.
Yeah, Ohio State is rolling here early. Maryland has to find a way to stop them.
Now number 20, Hannah Jones. Standing serve for Ohio State, bumped by Wagner. Malawal on the far side, and that's how you get on the board. A big spike by A.J. Malawal. 4-2 now in this second set.
That's exactly what the Terps needed, a good spike by Malawal to get him back into it.
So we Malawal serving. Here's the run-up, sends that over the net. Bumped up by the Buckeyes. Tooman sets that to Webker, and that's blocked. Great job, combo block by Lily Wagner and Ava Rohrbach, getting the points there for Maryland. Back to the strong defense of the Terrapins, leading to points.
Yes, exactly. We'll see if Maryland can keep it up.
Malawal now sending that over the net, and out of play. So just when they had a run going, Ohio State gets the point off the service error, take a 2-point lead, 5-3 now in this second set. And it'll be number 17, Reese Webker, serving for the Buckeyes. Webker sends it over. A little bit of miscommunication, but that's bailed out by Wagner. Williams bumps that over the net. Great job there. Ohio State recovering, sending that out of play. Point Terrapins.
What a huge play it was there by Lily Wagner. Heads up play by Wagner. She keeps it alive.
So now Haley Melby serving for the Terrapins, sending that over. Bumped by Webker, set by Tooman. That spike is denied by the Maryland defense. Back to the Ohio State side of the ball. Sent over by Gauthier and out of play. So now we are all knotted up at 5 apiece as Maryland, with 2 straight points, tying this one up. Haley Melby back on the service line. Here's the run-up. Sent over by number 4 for the Terrapins. That one's bumped by Hannah Jones at the wrong angle. Sent over and out of bounds. So now that's 3 straight plays by Ohio State where they have hit the ball out of play.
That was a good heads up play by Allie Williams as she saw that ball leading out of bounds and she just stepped back.
Melby sends that one over. Bumped by Jones, set to Tooman, and now Jones looking to follow it up with a spike and out of play again. So some big errors here by Ohio State, allowing Maryland to gain a 2-point advantage here in this second set, 7-5. Melby now setting that one over the net and into the net. A service error for Maryland breaks that scoring run, and it's back to a 1-point game.
And Maryland had all the momentum a few plays ago, but that stopped just shortly here by Ohio State.
Now Kaya Castle sends it over for Ohio State. Bumped by Williams, set by Wagner to Malawal. Sending that over, and that's handled by Ohio State. And now Gauthier tries to respond. Another big save by Williams. Sydney Bryant taps it over for Maryland. Ohio State has it now, and that's rejected. We are back and forth. Here we go as Gauthier sends it over. Bryant digs it out for Maryland. Wagner sets that to Malawal. That tips off the net and is handled by Ohio State. Here comes the big spike by Webker. That one handled by Maryland. Back and forth we go as Bryant sends that one, and a lucky bounce ends the set. Point for Maryland.
What a play there by the Terps. Heads up play by Bryant on the back end of that play, but it all started off with those 2 spikes by Malawal, but it was defended nicely by the Buckeyes, and that's what kept the ball in play.
So now number 44, Ava Rohrbach, serving for Maryland after that absolute mile of a set. And that one's tapped over by Gauthier. Quick points after that marathon point we just had previously. So now back to a 1-point game, 8-7. Ohio State with the service. It's number 9, Mia Tooman, for the Buckeyes. Tooman getting in some extra bounces. Here comes the run-up, sending that over the net. Dug out by Bryant, bumped by Wagner. Gokchin sends that over, but it's denied. Wagner sends that back to Maluwal, who sends it over and is handled by Ohio State. Bumped now, here comes Hannah Jones, big swing, not able to find its way through as that's dug out by Maryland. That one barely crossing over the net and had knocked out of play by Ohio State. Back and forth again on that one, and Maryland finds a way to find the point.
Hallie Williams with that heads-up save to keep the ball in play.
So now number 26, Lily Wagner on service, sending it over the net. Handled by Webker of Ohio State, bumped by Tuman. Maryland defense got a piece of that. Gokchin sending it over. Big save by number 11, Gauthier. Sends it back over to the other side of the net. Wagner bumps it, handled by the Ohio State defense. Wagner bumping it for Maluwal with a big spike. And a whistle gives that point to Maryland. A defending error on number 20, Hannah Jones, for Ohio State, giving Maryland the point and the 3-point lead in this second set.
Yeah, Maryland's got to keep it going. They have the 3-point advantage. We'll see what they can do here.
So now Wagner sending that over the net, handled by Webker, set by Tuman. Here comes Hannah Jones, but that's denied by the strong defense of Maryland. It's Gokchin and Maluwal combining on that one, and a timeout for Ohio State as Maryland has a 4-point lead in this second set.
Maluwal and Gokchin got up there and said, "Not in my house."
Another big block from Gokchin, already with 5 on the game. And her game high is 12 blocks against Coppin State. Has 5 already in this second set. Could be on her way to a record performance.
Let's see if she can do that.
So now just about 20 seconds left on this timeout. Both teams breaking their huddle, getting ready to come back into set 2 play as Maryland holds a 4-point advantage, 11-7. Some early mistakes in this one by Ohio State. That string of balls hit out of play have given Maryland this advantage. We'll see if they can keep it going on the offensive side of things. They're already up 1-0, winning that first set 25-23. Stacking 2 could make this one a tough challenge for Ohio State. Still plenty of time left in this second set, however. Could go either way.
Yes, they could. But Maryland just has to keep doing what they've been doing.
So it's Lily Wagner again, serving for the Terrapins. Sending that one over, dug up by Gauthier. Bumped by Jones, and it's going to be Gauthier sending that one over. Deflected out of play by Wagner. Ohio State finds the point and breaks the 3-0 scoring run of the Maryland Terrapins.
Ohio State is able to stop the bleeding there, and they get the point.
So it'll be Staller serving for Ohio State. Here's the run-up. And number 16, that clips the bottom of the net but gets over. Now Ohio State sending that spike. Wagner blocks it. Bumped by Tuman for Ohio State, and Carr closes the door on that point with the hard spike, not able to be dug out by Wagner. Ohio State now draws the gap to 2.
Too much on that spike by Carr. Wagner couldn't do anything about it.
Here comes Staller sending that one over. Bryant taps that one. Wagner bumps it back to Bryant, and that one gets over, blocked into the net by Ohio State. Point Maryland.
That's a good play there by Sydney Bryant.
Involved twice on that one, bumps it and spikes it. Number 16 doing it all on that point for the Terrapins. So now here comes the service for Maryland. It was Kennedy sending that one over, and Gauthier, pardon me, it's number 17, Webker, spiking that one for Ohio State. Back to a 2-point game here. And number 6, Olivia Hasbrook, the server who started this one as Ohio State, got out to that 3-0 lead. Hoping to have a similar effect here from the service line. Williams able to bump that one, set by Wagner. Melby now sends that across, but Ohio State handles it. Now this is going to be sent over by Hannah Jones, deflected by the Maryland defense. This is going to be a tough save, and Melby sends it back over the net. Great job by Williams keeping that play alive. Hannah Jones with the delicate tap. What a save by Malawal, just getting fingers underneath. Ohio State's defense handles that one as it's sent back over. Now Kennedy bumping it, Wagner setting it, and Malawal with the big spike. Melby reaches up and over the net. Point goes to Ohio State.
What an offensive possession there for the Terrapins.
Not able to find points on that one, however. An attacking error gives the point to Ohio State. It's back to a 1-point game. Hasbrook again serving for Ohio State. Sends it over, and what a serve it was. Finding the dead space in the floor. Not able to be dug out by Ali Williams. A service ace for Ohio State, and they tie it up at 12 apiece.
Ohio State coming back here. We'll see how Maryland, what Maryland can do and how they can stop it.
Hasbrook clips the net. A lucky bounce for Ohio State as it just barely gets over. There was no attacker in the area for Maryland. And Ohio State now takes the lead on a 4-0 scoring run. Hasbrook doing a great job from the service line. That one's handled by Melby, set by Wagner. Gokchin trying to spike it, denied. Solo by number 19, Kaya Castle. Standing in the way of that spike attempt, rejecting it, and Gokchin gets blocked instead of doing the blocking. And Ohio State builds a 2-point lead on the back of a 5-0 scoring run.
Yeah, that's a good play there by it's a good play by Kaya Castle and forces Adam Hughes to call it the timeout.
So Maryland's got to find a way to stop this 5-0 scoring run. Coach Adam Hughes trying to give some words of encouragement to his Terrapins as the wave is starting in the arena behind us.
See how long it can last. Here we go.
And it's been a great environment all afternoon. The crowd was electric during that back and forth first set. They've been up a lot in this second set too, but not much to cheer about recently.
Yeah, they're gonna have to find a way to get back into it. Just trailing by 2 here. As you said, the atmosphere is amazing. The crowd's electric. Maryland has to feed off that and get back into this one, just trailing by 2 here.
And most importantly, Maryland has to get Hasbrook off of the service line, as when she has been back there, it has been non-stop points for Ohio State. But now both teams back out on the court, getting ready for that whistle to resume play. Timekeeper's getting everything straighted out. There's the thumbs up, and here we go. Whistle resumes set 2 action. Hasbrook still on the line. Sends it over. Handled by Kennedy. Wagner sends that one to Melby. A little too much on that spike, out of play. Ohio State now with a 3-point lead, 15-12 in this second set. 6 straight for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, Maryland has to find a way to stop the bleeding here.
So now it's number 6, Olivia Hasbrook, sending that one back over. Melby saves that one. Malawal with the big spike, handled by that Buckeye defense. Malawal's getting a second chance, however. That one saved by number 16, Staller, and now sent over and spiked by Webker. Great job by that Ohio State defense. making saves, generating offense, getting the point, and now a 4-point lead on a 7-0 scoring run.
Ohio State is in control right now.
And there's another timeout.
I believe it was called by Coach Hughes. Going to talk things over with his team after Ohio State on a 7-0 scoring run. They have to figure out, Maryland has to figure out how they can get back into this. It's starting to go out of the hands of the Terps.
And this is exactly what they can't allow to happen. Maryland's defense has been great, but it's really been like a two-woman show offensively for Maryland to start this one. Ajak Malawal with 7 kills, Sydney Bryant with 4. No one else on the team has more than 1, as opposed to Ohio State. Up and down scorers, Ashley Carr with 5, Gauthier with 5, Webker with 5, Jones with 4. They've found points from a plethora of different scorers. Maryland needs to try to get some of these other scorers involved. Melby, Gokchin, Rohrbach, they need to find their way onto the stat sheet if they want to claw back in this one.
Yes, indeed. We'll see if they can do that here.
So now both teams breaking the huddle.
And the wave is ongoing here in Sandmount Pavilion. We'll see if it comes over our way. If it does, you want to get involved?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of wires over here, but we might as well. It appears to be exclusively on the far side, unfortunate for us. But now the PA announcer trying to get this crowd back into it, trying to will their Terps to break this 7-0 scoring run. Hasbrook sending that one back over for Ohio State, handled by Williams, bumped by Kennedy. Melby on the near side sending that one over, but that's saved by the Buckeyes, and Hannah Jones gets the spike. The defense not able to find a piece of that one, and Hannah Jones sends that one to the dead space on the court. Ohio State is rolling here as they have the 17-12 lead over Maryland in this second set.
There's definitely some miscommunication with Maryland on that one.
Hasbrook sending that one over, and that's bumped out of play by number 7, Joanna Spahn. Her first time being subbed in, and sends that one out of play. Not a great first impression for number 7 in this matchup as Ohio State continues to roll. Hasbrook now sending that one over. Bumped by Melby, set by Wagner. Malawal with the big time spike. But it goes out of play. And Ohio State still finds a way. An attacking error by A.J. Malawal extends this scoring run to 10 just when you think Maryland might be back on the point side of things. It does not go their way, and Hasbrook is sending this one back over. Spahn bumps that, sends that to Melby on the near side. That one saved by Stoller, now set by Tuman, knocked over by Webker, and another point. Ohio State hits the 20-point mark. They have an 8-point lead, an 11-0 scoring run. Maryland can do nothing to break this offensive assault by the Buckeyes.
Yeah, Maryland's running out of gas. They got to figure out how to stop this 11-0 scoring run by the Buckeyes.
Hasbrook sending it over. Bumped by Melby, set by Wagner. Back to Melby on the near side. What a save by number 6 for Ohio State. Hannah Jones not able to send that one over. And finally, the scoring drought is over. Maryland get back on the offensive side of things. Still down by 7 here, 20-13. Can they claw their way back in this second set? Williams sends it over for the Terrapins, bumped up by Hannah Jones of the Buckeyes, and now it will be her spike. Melby blocking that one, but it's saved by the Buckeyes. Now on the Ohio State side of things, Hannah Jones sending that one over, bumped by Williams, set by Kennedy. Here comes Melby, tapping that one over and through the Ohio State defense. So now Maryland 2 straight points as they claw back to 6 down, 20-14 in the second set. And here comes number 24, Allie Williams with the service for the Terrapins. Sends it over, saved by Jones, bumped by Tuman, and a big time spike there by Kaya Castle, getting on the points sheet for the first time. A great spike. Her first points in the second set, pardon me. And now Hannah Jones sending that one over for Ohio State. Set by Wagner. Malawal sending that one, but it's saved by Staller. Tooman bumps that one up to Webker. Saved by Williams of Maryland. Melby now on the near side, bumping that one over, but that's saved again by the Ohio State defense. Kennedy digs that one out for Maryland. Melby on the near side, firing that one over. Hasbrook bumps that one back up, and Kaya Castle now 2 straight points in this one as Ohio State gets to 22 points as they lead 22-14 in this one. A little bit different from the first set where both teams back and forth in the 20-point range. Maryland is going to have to do a lot of work if they want a chance at this second set. Melby knocking that one over for the Terrapins. Number 4 has been active, but unfortunately has not generated a lot of points. A.J. Malawal just barely bumping that one over on the far side, and it finds the dead space. Maryland gets to 15 now, down by 7 in this second set. Can Ajak Malawal spur a scoring run from the service stripe? Here comes number 3, Malawal, sending that one short, trying to loft that over. The defense for Ohio State was playing a little bit back. Malawal trying to send that one just over the net, find the dead space, but not enough on that one. A costly service error, and now Ohio State draws to within 2 of claiming this second set.
Just not enough on it by Malawal.
Now number 15, Hoffman, sends that one over for Ohio State. Handled by Wagner, sending that to Melby. Melby, a perfectly placed spike, sends that one cross court into the dead space. And now Maryland with 16 points, down by 7 again.
Maryland's got life. We'll see what they can do.
Haley Melby, service for the Terrapins, clips the net. A big-time save by Ohio State, sent over by Gauthier, deflected out of play by the Maryland defense. And Ohio State now set point for the Buckeyes as they lead by 8 in this second set. So now number 18, Yoder, on the serve for Ohio State. Sends that one over, handled by Williams, bumped by Wagner. It'll be Sydney Bryant on this near side trying to send that one over, dug out by Hannah Jones. Jones sends that one across to Gauthier. Gauthier sends that one over, deflected out of play, and Ohio State claims this second set, 25-16. A dominant performance by the Buckeyes to draw this game back even 1-1. What did you see in that one that made Ohio State so successful on the offensive side of things?
I mean, they started off early, and once you get that big of a lead, it's hard to get back on that side of the ball from Maryland. You know, Maryland really has to start out strong here in the third set and just keep it going. I mean, the biggest difference was how much the Ohio State saw the ball clean, and once they saw the ball, they spiked it early, and that's what got. It was just one touch, maybe 2 touch passes, and it was done. So Maryland has to eliminate that. They have to start early. I can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah, and we saw on those longer rallies, Maryland was able to find the points, but Ohio State, as you said, doing such a good job of getting to their set plays, just 1, 2, 3, sending that over the net, getting points that way. And cannot overstate the importance of Olivia Hasbrook for the Buckeyes on the service line for that 10-0 run that really put this one away for Ohio State. So now Maryland looking to get back into the successful column with a win in this third set. We'll be back with third set action. You're listening to WMUC Sports. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back inside the Sean Webb Pavilion. I'm Cam Crossett alongside Zachary Koehler. We are tied at one set apiece. Ohio State has won the last set 25-16, and Maryland won the first set by a score of 25-23. Very back and forth match this afternoon. What does Maryland have to do in this third set to get back in it?
Well, we're seeing some new faces on the court for Maryland. Number 10, Anika Sokol, makes her first appearance in this matchup. She's been dealing with some injuries. Glad to see her on the court, but let's see if she can maybe spark this offense for the Terrapins.
Yeah, Sokol, a 5'10 junior from Roxborough Park, Colorado. As you mentioned, has been dealing with some injuries, but is back. It's good to see her.
And as you've said, it's important that Maryland gets off to an early start. They start with service in this one. So let's see if they can get some early points on the board and build a lead against this Ohio State Buckeye team.
As Melby is back to serve for the Terps, and we're underway. Over the net, Tillman's got it. Well, Webker has a strong spike, kept alive by Williams. Over to Melby, back to Tillman. Over the net, the Terrapins have it. Sydney Bryant, good save. Melby lofts it over the net. Tillman has it. Jones has a spike for the Buckeyes, and they have an early 1-0 lead.
And neither team was really able to find a powerful spike on that one, but Ohio State just outlasts the Maryland defense, getting the first point of this third set.
Olivia Hasbrook back to serve for the Buckeyes over the net. Sydney Bryant has a touch on it. Bryant gets it back. It's blocked by Kaya Castle, as Ohio State has an early 2-0 lead. Hasbrook back to serve. Hasbrook over the net. Sydney Bryant gets it. She bumps it over to her teammate, gets it just a little bit too strong there, as Ohio State has a 3-0 advantage. Hasbrook has it over to Sydney Bryant. It's blocked once more by Castle. But the Terps get the point there, as Rohrbach will be serving for the Terps. As Tillman's got it over to Castle, who spikes it down, and Ohio State has an early 4-1 lead here in the third set. Ohio State taking control of Maryland's errors here early on, as Jones spikes it over to Williams for the Terps, as Sydney Bryant spikes it down and brings the Terp back within 2.
And it's good to see that finally Maryland finding their offense. That was a clean play and a big spike because of it by Sydney Bryant. That's where they're best offensively, when they can let these big hitters do their thing, when they give them space, when they give them time to send those powerful spikes over the net.
Yes, totally. As Wagner back to serve for the Terps. It's over the net. Tillman kind of puts a spin on it, and has Ohio State gets the point 5-2.
Nifty play there by number 9, Mia Tillman, proving she can do it in all facets of the game.
As Duru Gakchen spiked it down, brings the Terps back within 2, 5-3. Ohio State still has the lead, as Addie Kennedy back to serve for the Terps. Terps are going left to right here. Kennedy over the net. Navajo Gauthier spikes it down. Ohio State gets a point 6-3. As checking back into the game for the Buckeyes is Abby Yoder. The whistle is blown. Yoder will serve over the net. To Williams, to Wagner. Malawal fires it. Saved by the Buckeyes. Webker over to Gauthier. Good spike, but good save on the other end by Williams. Over to Malawal, who gets the point for the Terps. We're back within 2.
Yeah, and the defense didn't get much in the way of that one. And when Malawal winds up, there's very little you can do to get in the way of that.
Yes. We'll see what Maryland can do here in this possession as Williams has the serve over there. As Mia Tillman read it well and just spiked it over the net. Gives it Ohio State an early 3-point advantage, 7-4 early on here.
And that's the second point in this third set by Tooman on that quick little tap over the net. Maryland defense has to adjust quick.
Yes, he's back, it's Tooman. As the ball hits the net. And Ohio State gets the point. Back to serve for the Buckeyes is Tooman. And Melby can't get there in time. And Ohio State gets another point, and they're in control, leading 9-4. Forces Coach Adam Hughes to call an early timeout.
Yeah, and it looked like it might be a little more back and forth in this third set, but it's been more of the same from the second set, carrying over to this one. Ohio State able to find their scoring runs, able to kind of make a messy game offensively, and they've thrived in that chaos where Maryland hasn't been able to adapt to it. Let's see if Maryland can figure some stuff out here. A big timeout. This first point out of the timeout will be crucial in this one.
Yes, it will be. They have to figure out how they can get back into it little by little, just 1 point at a time. As they can't make the same mistakes they did back in the second set. We'll see what Coach Hughes' message is here in the timeout. One thing Maryland needs is they need a response, and they need it quickly.
Yeah, back-to-back service aces. You never like to see it as a defense giving up back-to-back service aces like that. It's always tough to bounce back from that. Mia Tooman with those 2 service aces, and she has been all over the floor in this third set. The past 3 points have been because of number 9 for Ohio State.
She has been the difference maker, absolutely. Tooman back to serve for the Buckeyes. The whistle is blown. Tooman serve over the net. Like that, Addie Kennedy. Rohrbach checks into the game. It's a point is awarded to Ohio State as they extend their lead to 6. 10-4 is the score for the Buckeyes. They're on a 4-0 scoring run here early on in the third set. Serving is Tooman. A good touch pass by Kennedy. Over to Hui. As Tooman over the net. Flipped it out to Nevaeh Gauthier, who spiked it down. And Ohio State continues their run. Now a 5-0 scoring run. Excuse me, the Terps do get the point there to stop the bleeding. They have a 10-5 lead for the Buckeyes. Malawal served it. That ball goes all the way towards the pep band. And the Terps are awarded a point.
So now big back-to-back points for Maryland. Let's see if they can get an offensive run going here with A.J. Malawal on the service line.
Malawal back to serve, over the net, inbounds. Exactly what you were talking about there, Zach. The Terps get another point off the hands of Malawal, and they're back within 3.
Back-to-back service aces by A.J. Malawal now. finding some momentum.
Maliwal serving. Over to the net. Jones winds up. Williams right there. She bumps it out to Wagner. Wagner over to Rohrbach. It was blocked, but Rohrbach and the Terps get the point. 10-8 to score. Maryland now in a 3-0 scoring run. As Maliwal gets the point, as Maliwal with the serve, Ohio State gets the point though, 11-8.
Yeah, so breaking that scoring run with a service error. And A.J. Maliwal will sub out of this game after that one. Number 12, Katie Scherer, has not seen a ton of game action for the Terps this year, but is now in the game for Maryland. Along with number 19, Olivia Huey.
Mia Stoller back to serve for the Buckeyes. As Terps had it off of Huey. It went out of bounds, and Ohio State gets the point. As Stoller with the serve for the Buckeyes. Over to the Terps. Rohrbach gets a hand on it, and that's a point for the Terps. That ball does stay in bounds. Back to serve will be Olivia Huey for the Terps. Huey with the serve over the net. Sent out to Toman. Ashley Carr is coming towards us. It was a nice save by you there, Zach. As that ball was heading straight towards us.
It's coming in with some force.
It was. As that point is awarded to Ohio State, they have a 13-9 lead. As Hasbrook served it over to Katie Shearer. Shearer spikes it down and gets a point and gives the Terps a point back within 3. Eva Rohrbach back to serve for the Terps. Rohrbach set out of bounds as Ohio State gets the point. So a 14-10 lead for the Buckeyes.
And some crucial service errors in this third set for Maryland.
As Jones back to serve for the Buckeyes. Over to Sokol, back to Shearer. Shearer gets the point, and the Terps back within 3, 14-11 to score.
Maryland not going away, not letting Ohio State find those big runs like they did in the second set. Doing a good job of keeping this one close.
They're just hanging around.
And A.J. Maliwal back in the game.
As Wagner will be serving for the Terps. Over the net, good stop there by Jones. Good touch pass. And she couldn't get there in time. The Terps get the point.
Some quick reflexes by Hannah Jones for Ohio State, but sends that one out of play. Terps back within 2.
Lily Wagner will be serving. Whistle is blown. Double dribble there as Wagner serves it. Over to the Buckeyes. Goes back to the Terps. Williams. Maliwal winds and fires. It was out of play as Ohio State is awarded the point. 15-12 the score.
Just barely missing there is A.J. Maliwal.
Checking back into the game for the Buckeyes is Caitlin Hoffman, and she will serve. Hoffman over to Huey. Williams has it. She bumps it out to Bryant, who spikes it down and brings the Terps within 2, 15-13.
There's a great example of getting back to their offense. What Maryland needs to do, they need to be able to set up those clean spikes. Sydney Bryant cashing in on that one again.
As Bryant back to serve, over the net. Jones there over to Tillman. Back to Gauthier, back past to Jones. Over the net to Gokchen, over to Hui. Went off the net, Williams saves it, over the net. As the point is awarded to Ohio State, 16-13. That spike, that serve there by Yober hit the top of the net as the Terps have the point, 16-14. Williams back to serve for the Terps. Over the net. As Gauthier swats it, but it was blocked by Malawal. As the Terps within one.
Big time block by A.J. Malawal. Hasn't found it on the scoring sheet in this third set, but that block gets a point for Maryland.
Williams with the serve over the net. Mia Tillman over to Ashley Carr. Saved there by Wagner, who bumps it out to Williams. Back to Malawal. Over the net to Jones. Over to Tillman. Ashley Carr's got it, and she spikes it down. And Ohio State gets the point, 17-15.
Yeah, and there was nobody in that back corner for Maryland. Perhaps a defensive miscommunication leading to some open space on the floor. Ashley Carr able to find that space, get the point for the Buckeyes.
Tillman serving. And she gets the point. As a Terps defender there slipped. As Ohio State has a 3-point advantage. Tillman serving over to Bryant. The Terps put it out to Hui, who spikes it down, brings the Terps back within two. Malawal on to serve. Spikes it over the net. Goes back to the Terps as Wagner over to Huey. Good save there by Hoffman. She goes full extension to make that save. Jones gets it there and spikes it for the Ohio State as they now have the Terps get that point there. It was too much for Jones as Malawal is back to serve. As Ohio State gets that point as Malawal's serve goes out of bounds.
That one's just barely long. Malawal has missed by just a couple inches on a few of her scoring opportunities in this third set. And with this one looking a lot closer to the first set, every point is crucial. Both teams approaching 20, a 2-point lead for Ohio State.
Stoller back to serve for the Buckeyes. Stoller and the Buckeyes get the point. Once again, I think there was a defensive miscommunication for the Terps as Coach Adam Hughes calls timeout. What does Coach have to be speaking about in the huddle there, Zach, to get them back in it?
Well, we've seen, as we've said, some defensive miscommunications. You got to clean that up, especially in crunch time like it is right now. Some crucial service aces for Ohio State. Just some poor communication by the Maryland defense. If they can clean that up, this is still anyone's ballgame. Only down by 3. They can find the points. They can go on a run. They can claw back in this one. But they need to clean it up on the defensive side of things to start generating some offense.
Yes, and they have to start early because time is getting away to Ohio State up by 3, but they already have 20 points here. And they just clean up those defensive errors and they'll get back in it. Hopefully get back in it a little bit, a little faster and a little quicker. Is Stoller back to serve for the Buckeyes. A good serve spike there by Rohrbach. That one goes out of bounds. And the Terps get the point.
Needs to be more of that. Clean setup plays, finds the spike. Too much for the defense to handle, knocks it out of play. Point Maryland.
Yes, exactly. As Huey serves it. And the Buckeyes do get the point off that serve. As Hasbrook will be serving for the Buckeyes. Hasbrook out of bounds. Gives the Terps a point. They keep this one close within 2.
Speaking of close, that serve just barely missed. A lot of guts by number 19, Huey, to let that one past her. Turned out to be the right call for Maryland.
Rohrbach on the serve, over to Ohio State as Castle spiked it. And Rohrbach couldn't get up there in time as Ohio State gets the point, 22-19. Going back to serve for the Buckeyes is Jones. As Sharir has it for the Terps over the net. Webker spiked. Back to Webker. Blocked by Gokchen. But Ohio State does get the point there, 23-19. As Jones back to serve. Over the net. Sokol over to Bryant. Bryant over the net. Tooman back to the Buckeyes. Bumps it out to Webker. He spikes it down. 24-19. The Buckeyes just 1 point away from getting this one. As Jones will serve. Over to Sharir. The good pass. Webker puts it over the net. But the Terps do get that point, though. 24-20.
Yeah, and that took a weird bounce off the rafters. Ohio State not able to adjust to that one, knocks that out of play.
Yes, exactly. That weird bounce had a awkward spin to it. Mia Tooman and others couldn't get back up there in time. Tooman over to Webker. Spikes it, saved by Williams. Wagner has it for the Terps. Puts over the Webker for the Buckeyes. As Williams bumps it out to Madiwal. The good spike there saved by the Buckeyes. As Wagner has it, Madiwal again. And Olivia Huey let it go out of bounds as the Terps have back-to-back points. It's 24-21. Ohio State with the lead.
And Olivia Huey, the sophomore, really showing her game IQ in this one.
Wagner with the serve. Go full diving effort. There's Williams over to Maliwal, over the net. Back to the Buckeyes. Hasbrook over to Webker. And that's going to seal it in the third set for the Buckeyes as they win this one 25-21 in the third set. We head to the fourth set. Keep it right here on WMUC Sports Radio. as we head to the fourth set.
So just over 30 seconds before set 4 action here at the Shanwall Pavilion. You're listening at WMUC Sports. I'm Zachary Koehler alongside my broadcast partner, pardon me.
You're good. Alongside Cam Crossett here with you.
So we're getting ready as both teams coming back out. And number 10 stays on the floor for Maryland, Anika Sokal. Number 12, Katie Scherer. Duru Gokshin, Sydney Bryant, Haley Melby on the floor for the Terrapins. Pardon me, Gokshin now subbing out. Number 24, Allie Williams, the libero for Maryland, on the floor. For Ohio State, number 9, Mia Tuman. Number 2, Ashley Carr. Number 16, Mia Stoller. Number 20, Hannah Jones. Number 19, Kaya Castle. And here comes number 6, the libero for Ohio State, Olivia Hasbrook. And it will be Hasbrook serving, so it'll be very interesting. Hasbrook has had immense success from the service line for Ohio State to start this one.
This is a crucial set for the Terps.
So now here comes Ohio State. Hasbrook with the serve. Melby digs that one out. Set up by Sokal. Sydney Bryant on the near side sends that one over. Saved by Tuman. Bumped by Hasbrook. Here comes Jones, and that's blocked. Big time block by Ava Rohrbach. Sydney Bryant.
You touched on it, Zach, as a big time block to start the fourth set here.
Very crucial that they didn't let Hasbrook get going on the service line. Let's see if Ava Rohrbach can get things generating for the Maryland Terrapins. Sends that one over. Dug up by Hannah Jones, bumped up by Tuman. Here comes Hannah Jones with a spike. Rohrbach hits that. Melby knocks that one out of play. And Ohio State ties things up at one apiece.
If Melby was over just to her right a little bit, that could have been a very different outcome.
Hannah Jones sends that one over for Ohio State. Sokal is now going to set this one up for Bryant on the near side. Just taps that one over. Hannah Jones digs that out. Bumped up by Tuman. Knocked over by Castle. And out of play. Point for Maryland. tried to go down the line of the net, sends that one a little too far cross court and out of play for Ohio State. So now Maryland with the serve, number 26, Lily Wagner. Getting ready. Couple bounces. Here comes the run up. Sends it over the net. Handled by Hasbrook. Bumped up by Tooman. Big spike by Castle, and that one sent directly to my left. A great catch by the Big Ten Plus announcing crew right to my left side.
That was an amazing heads up by them.
And it will be a point for Ohio State as that was knocked out of play by Maryland. 2 apiece. Here comes the big serve by Webker. Handled by Melby, knocked up by Wagner. Bryant with a big spike on the near side, but it's dug out by Tooman. Webker sets that one up for Gauthier, and Gauthier finds the empty space and converts for the Buckeyes. 3-2 now for Ohio State.
Maryland has to find their footing here in the 4th set. So far they've done so here, trailing by 1.
Webker sends it over, Melby. Wagner to Bryant. Bryant sends that one, big deflection. And a big save by Webker now for Ohio State, sent over by Tooman. Williams setting that one up for Wagner to Gokchin with the big time spike. Hasbrook not able to save that one for Ohio State. And Gokchin converts.
Heads up play by Gokchin there to even up the score at 3.
So now Bryant on the service line. Sends that over, dug up by Webker, bumped up by Tooman. Tapped over by Gauthier, handled. And now here comes Malawal with a big time spike, but Ohio State gets out of the way and that goes out of play. So now they hold the 1-point lead in this 3rd set. And it'll be number 18 on service, Abby Yoder. Sends that over, Melby bumps it, Wagner sets that to Gokchin, who just taps it over, handled by Tooman, however. And now Ohio State tapping that over. Gokchin elevates, returns that to sender, and Gauthier not able to react fast enough. Big time point for Maryland as we're tied up at 4 apiece.
Back-to-back points by Gokchin. Evens the scoring.
So now it'll be Williams sending it over for Maryland. Bumped by Jones, set by Tooman. Gauthier not able to convert on that one as a big time block by A.J. Malawal, and Ava Rohrbach sends that back over the net. Point for Maryland as they take the 1-point lead. Some strong defensive plays early in this one.
Exactly right.
So now Williams sends that over, saved by Jones, sent over by Webker, bumped up by Williams for Maryland. Wagner sets that to Melby on the near side, handled by the Ohio State defense, sent over by Tooman. Big diving save by Bryant. Now Williams setting it up for Melby. Sends that one over and out of play, deflected by a Buckeye. Point Maryland as they have the 2-point lead now, 6-4 in this 3rd set. Williams remains on service. Here comes the run up. Clips the net, but sent over by Maryland. And now Gauthier trying to serve that, deflected by Maryland, handled. Gauthier sends that one over for the Buckeyes. Now Williams setting that back up to Malawal. Malawal tapping that over. Big diving save by Hasbrook. And here comes Webker with the big spike, handled by Wagner. Some miscommunication, but Bryant able to set that one up for Malawal, who just sends the free ball over. Now here comes the spike by Carr, denied by Haley Melby. And another block for another point for Maryland as they take the 3-point lead on a 4-0 scoring run. And Williams.
Melby was on it, she read it well.
Williams getting ready to serve. And that one comes up short.
Sorry to cut you off there, but Williams knows at that time.
Ending that scoring run now, 7-5, Ohio State. And it's number 9, Mia Tooman. On service for Ohio State, sending that over. Melby digs it out, bumped by Wagner. Malawal on the far side, big time spike. 1, 2, 3 play for the Maryland offense, getting the point. 3-point lead now for the Terrapins. And it'll be number 10, Anika Sokol, on service for Maryland. Sokol sends it over, bumped up by Jones. Set by Tuman. Jones trying to tap that one over, denied by the strong defense of the Terrapins. Carr tapping that over for Ohio State. So Call setting it to Melby on the near side. Big block. Big save by Hasbrook, sends it over to Gauthier, but So-Called digs that out for Maryland. And now on the near side, Scherer denied by the Ohio State defense, and a point for the Buckeyes as they draw back within 2, 8-6 in this fourth set.
Yeah, the Terps are figuring it out, and they have done so far, taking that early 8-6 lead.
But Stoller sending it over for Ohio State. So-Called setting that one up to Scherer. Scherer cashes in on that one. A little redemption for number 12. Finds the spike, finds the point. Big kill for Scherer as Maryland extends their lead back to 3, 9-6. It'll be Haley Melby serving.
That's exactly what the Maryland needed that time.
Melby sends it over. Tuman sets that up for Carr, handled by Williams for Maryland. Scherer sends that one back over. 2 straight points for number 12. And now some scoring being generated from some other people. Malawal still with only 11 kills. Now a couple other Terps up in the 4-5 kill range. Melby sends it over. Handled by number 16, set by Tuman. Jones looking for the spike. That's deflected off of the Maryland defender and out of play. Not able to get enough on it was Ava Rohrbach. And Jones converts on that one. So now number 6, Olivia Hasbrook, always dangerous from the service line. Sends it over, handled by Melby, bumped by So-Called. Big spike by Rohrbach. Deflects it off of Hasbrook, and a point for the Terrapins as they bring it back to a 4-point lead, 11-7 in this fourth set.
Maryland's rolling right now, up by 4.
Ava Rohrbach, number 44, with the serve over. Dug out by Jones, bumped by Stoller, sent over by Webker, handled by Rohrbach. That one had some heat on it. Bryant sends the free ball over, bumped by Hasbrook, set and spiked by Castle, but denied by the Maryland defense. Now Hasbrook sends the free ball over. Rohrbach bumping that one, set by So-Called. Big spike by Scherer and a big save, but it goes out of play. Maryland gets the point on that one, 12-7 now.
That's a good read there by the Terps, which forces Ohio State to call a timeout.
Ohio State reeling a little bit. Maryland in control, something we haven't been able to set for the past 2 sets, as they haven't had many leads. But now with a 5-point lead, can they keep it rolling in this fourth set? What do they got to do?
I think what they got to do is they got to just keep it going offensively. They just have to keep the point totals up. They just can't be lackadaisical and just sat back. They have to keep going. And it all starts, with their leading scorer, Malawal. She just has to keep going, and she has to get her other teammates in the play. That's what's been lacking Maryland in previous sets. But overall, they're doing a good job with it in this set here. They just have to keep it going.
Yeah, and it can't be Malawal alone. 11 kills on 36 attempts. A bad day from a hitting percentage standpoint for number 3. Sydney Bryant, second on the team with 7 kills. Scherer now adding her name into the mix with 6 kills. Some big bench scoring for number 12. Definitely a reason why Maryland has this 5-point lead in the fourth set. Both teams breaking out of their huddle. Rohrbach getting ready to spike, getting ready to serve, pardon me. There's the buzzer. Waiting for the go-ahead to resume fourth period action. Now Rohrbach with the run-up sends it over, handled by Jones, set by Tuman back to Jones, who bumps it over. Big save by Scherer. Gokchin setting that up for Bryant on the near side. That one's denied by Ohio State defenders, but they reach over the net. An attacking error on number 20, Hannah Jones, gives the point to Maryland. They extend their lead to 6 in this fourth set. Bach with the run-up. Sends it over. Tough save there. Sent over by Webker. Big-time spike deflects off of Sokol. Not able to save that one. And Ohio State back in the points column.
Yeah. First time they've been back in the points column in a few points there, so good job by them.
Hannah Jones sending that standing serve over. Melby digs it out. Sokol sending that one back to Gokchin. Handled by the Ohio State defense. Webker bumps that one over. Williams with the big save for Maryland. Sokol sets that far cross court to Bryant, and Bryant able to convert on that one. Sends it over, deflected by Ohio State defender. Maryland back to that 6-point lead, 14-8 now for the Terrapins, and it'll be number 26, Lily Wagner, getting ready for service. Here's the run-up, sends it over, handled by the Buckeyes, tipped over by Castle, set by Wagner now. Bryant's deflected, miscommunication leads to a point for Maryland. Number 6, Olivia Hasbrook, and number 17, Reese Webker for the Buckeyes, both trying to go after that one. Collided a little bit, and Ohio State drops that point on a defensive miscue. Maryland now with the 7-point lead. Wagner sends it over, bumped by Jones. Set over to Webker, big-time spike is denied by the Maryland defense. Williams sending that one over to Bryant. Spikes that one over and through. And a big point for Maryland as they are now on a big run, forcing another timeout for Ohio State. They have doubled up the Buckeyes. Maryland leading by 8 in this 4th set.
Yeah, Ohio State starting to run out of gas. Hopefully this timeout will get them back into it. We'll see what they can do.
It's been clean, consistent offensive play in this 4th set for Maryland. They've been able to set up their big-time hitters to convert. Sydney Bryant now with 11 kills, tying Ajak Malawal for most kills in the game for a Maryland Terrapin. In fact, those 11 kills lead all scorers as Reese Webker for Ohio State has 10, the best on her team. But Bryant has been more efficient, 11 kills on 30 attempts. Only 2 scoring errors for Sydney Bryant, shooting at 30%. Needs to keep it going.
Yes, they need to keep it going, but they also have to have other teammates involved as well. Not just those 2 you mentioned, not just Bryant and Malawal, but have the other teammates involved and then keep it going, of course. And we'll see what they can do here out of this timeout.
So both teams coming back onto the court. There's the buzzer as we get ready to resume action in this 4th set. Maryland up by 8. Here comes Lily Wagner. Run up, sends that one over. Handled by Hasbrook. Big time save. Hasbrook has to send that free ball over. Williams now bumps it. Wagner sets it. Malawal with the big cannon, dug out by Hannah Jones, but out of play. Too much on that spike for Malawal. And a big point for Maryland as they extend this lead to 9 now, 17-8. So a 4-0 scoring run for the Terrapins. Wagner, here's the run up, sends it over. And that one just finds the inside corner. Hannah Jones trying to let that one go, does not go in her favor as Maryland with the service ace from Lily Wagner extends their lead to double digits, 10 points in this 4th set.
That was a great serve there by Wagner.
Wagner sends it over, bumped up by Hasbrook, set by Ohio State, and that one knocked out of play. Maryland keeps it rolling. That was set by number 4, Camilla Gibson for Ohio State, has checked into the game. But that spike goes wide. So now, Maryland sends that one over to Ohio State. Webker denied by Malawal, big time block from number 3. And the Terps hit the 20-point mark with Ohio State still at 8. A 12-point lead, a 6-0 scoring run. They are laying it on now.
That was a big-time block there by Maliwal.
Here comes Wagner, sending it over. Set by Gibson. Webker spikes that, deflected out of play by Maryland, and they break the scoring run. Do the Buckeyes. So now, an 11-point lead for Maryland in this fourth set. Ohio State's got to find something quick if they want to claw back in it. It's number 17, Reese Webker, sending it over. That one off the head of Sydney Bryant. It'll work, I guess, as Bryant coming with the spike, deflected out of play. What a series of events for number 16.
What a play there by Bryant. She didn't anticipate the head, but it worked out for her.
Saves that serve with her noggin.
Wow.
Set up by Williams, and then Bryant comes back and spikes it, getting the point. A big-time kill for number 16. And now Maryland looking to keep it going.
I think that's what you call using your head by Bryant there.
And that spike is going to be deflected out of play by Maryland now. Ohio State has the point. 21-10, an 11-point lead. Looking to claim this fourth set, tie things up at 2 apiece, Maryland, but they have to find a point here as number 18 sends it over for Ohio State. Saved by Wagner. Melby sends it over, and a whistle is going to give the point to Maryland. A defending error on Kamia Gibson. So now Maryland 3 points away from claiming this one. It has been all Terrapins in this fourth set. And it'll be number 24, Ellie Williams, getting ready to send it over. Bumped up by Webker, set by Gibson. Gauthier with the spike. Too much to handle for the Maryland Terrapins. And now 22-12, a 10-point lead for Maryland. But Ohio State looking to find some offense here. No better person on the service line to do it. Mia Tuman has had a couple of aces, and this one has been all around the court for Ohio State. Sends that one over, handled by Melby, set by Wagner. Maliwal on the far side spikes that one, but it's deflected by the Ohio State defense. And now it's Hannah Jones' turn. Saved by Maryland. Williams setting that one up to Maliwal, just tries to tap it over. Rohrbach now sending that over for Maryland. Set up by Hasbrook. Here comes Hannah Jones on the near side. That spike a little too much. Out of play. So the Terrapins get another point within 2 now in this fourth period.
Yeah, the Terps have to find a way to finish it off here, and I think they can do so.
It'll be Anika Sokol on service for Maryland. Sends it over. Saved by Webker, set by Tuman, bumped over by Jones, handled by Sokol. Williams with the loose bump, but Melby able to send a free ball over. And now sent over to Gauthier on the near side, deflected, big save by Williams. Now number 8, Addie Kennedy, sends it over, spiked by Melby, finds the floor. Maryland within 1 now of claiming this fourth set as Shanwald rises to its feet.
That was a great Maryland possession there.
Anika Sokol, set point for the Terrapins, sends it over. Handled by Webker, set by Tuman, over, big time spike by Carr, but it goes out of play, and Maryland claims the set, 25-11. We're all tied up. We are headed to a 5th set here in Shanwald.
Complete control by Maryland here in this 4th set. They got to keep it up here in the 5th set.
So we've got some extra volleyball here in College Park this afternoon. Both teams desperately need a win. Who can find their way into the successful column here? All tied up at 2 sets apiece. Getting ready to go. We'll be back with 5th set action. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to WMUC Sports.
Hey fans, Maryland Volleyball would like to welcome the following groups to today's match. Maryland Juniors 13 Elite, High Point High School, Southern Maryland Christian Academy, and Oakton High School JV. Thanks for coming out and supporting the Terps at today's match.
Welcome back here to the Sean Webb Pavilion. The fifth set, some extra volleyball on a Saturday afternoon in College Park. As we get set here, what are some things Maryland has to do to win this one?
Well, we saw them have success when they were able to set up their big-time hitters. We've been saying it all game. Sydney Bryant, now with 12 kills, able to find consistent offense through number 16. They need to maintain clean offensive plays, getting those sets, getting those clean spikes off. If they can keep this momentum rolling and feed off of this crowd, they can claim this victory. For Ohio State, it's gotta be just gritting it out, just keep fighting. They've won those ugly points. If they can keep that going, if they can generate some runs, it could very well be their first victory in the Big Ten.
Yes, they could be. Maryland, as you mentioned, has to feed off this energy. We'll see what they can do here in the fifth set. Sokol back to serve for the Terps. Over to Tubman, who saves it. Back to the Terps. As Katie Shearer spikes it down, and the Terps have an early 1-0 lead.
And Katie Shearer has been a real standout in this one. Coming into this game, only played in 9 games this season, but has 7 kills so far tonight.
Sure. Served it. Webker headed for the Buckeyes. She gets the point. Hasbrook back to serve for the Buckeyes. Over to Melby. Back to the Buckeyes. Webker with a strong spike. And gets the Ohio State the point, 2-1.
And that one just barely deflected by Allie Williams. It was probably going out of play anyway, but so much heat on that. Not a lot of time to make a decision for 24. And deflects it out of play. Ohio State takes the 1-point lead here.
Hasbrook on to serve for the Buckeyes. Sokol over to Melby. It was tipped. And the Terps are awarded the point. Tied up at 2. Substitution for the Terps. Checking back in will be Sydney Bryant.
And both offenses have looked sharp to start this 5th set.
Haley Melby to serve for the Terps over the net to Haley Jones. Spike down there by the Buckeyes. They have an early 3-2 lead.
Great court vision by number 19, Castle, for the Buckeyes, finding the dead space in the floor.
Tanner Jones on to serve for the Buckeyes. Sokol over to Bryant. That's tipped. And Ohio State does get the point. Has a 2-point advantage, 4-2.
Yeah, Bryant trying to get a little fancy on that one, just trying to send that one over. But Castle able to read that, jumps at the right time, rejects that, and now a 2-point lead for Ohio State.
Looks like we have a review or a challenge, as Adam Hughes will challenge.
And I believe they're looking for net interference on Ohio State.
We'll get an official ruling momentarily, but as of now, it's a 4-2 Ohio State lead.
And in this shortened 5th set, every point is so important. This could swing things in a big way for Maryland.
So after that review there, they've decided that the score remains at 4-2. As we're back to playing here after the whistle is blown. As Jones with the spike, excuse me, the serve. Over to Sokol, back to Bryant. Bryant with a strong spike saved by the Buckeyes. Webker winds up, and that goes out of bounds. A little too much on that one as the Terps have a point. 4-3.
And we could be getting back-to-back challenges here.
We could be. Rohrbach was getting ready to serve. As now Ohio State will challenge.
And they're looking for a deflection on that one. It was a close play at the net. And you don't often see a shot going out of the back unless there is a deflection. Another crucial challenge, but we'll see which way it goes as of right now. 4-3 for Maryland. Sorry, 4-3 for Ohio State. Point for Maryland.
Not what the Terps were hoping for, as they ruled that Ohio State touched the ball, so the score is 5-2 Ohio State here in the 5th period. As Jones back to serve, over to Bryant, bumped over to Sokol. There's blocks, goes back into Maryland territory as the Terps get the point.
And no doubt on that one, Scherer sending that one into the block of Ohio State, and Ohio State deflecting that out of bounds.
Rohrbach was back to serve as that ball hit the net. And Ohio State gets the point, 6-3.
And it's been a real up and down kind of day for the service line from Ava Rohrbach. She's seen some runs go her way when she's serving, but also a couple errors, and that one could be costly.
Reese Webb trying to serve. That one goes out of play, as the Terps get a point, 6-4. The score, the Ohio State having the lead.
So now back-to-back service errors.
As Lily Wagner on to serve for the Terps. As Williams gets that over to Wagner. Back to Goetschen. That ball falls to the court, and Ohio State is awarded the point. It's a 7-4 Ohio State lead.
Miscommunication on that one. Goetschen didn't know she was supposed to go for it. There was no other defender able to get to it, and that falls to the floor.
As Malawal winds and fires that one, and she gets it.
Big time point from A.J. Malawal.
As on to serve for the Terps is Addie Kennedy. Kennedy goes over the net. Back into the Terps. Malawal winds and fires. She does have the point. And the Terps get the point back. 7-6.
Back-to-back points off the hands of A.J. Malawal. Big time spikes generating offense.
Terps with the serve. As Tuman flips it over the net. As Melby spikes it. As Tuman's got it for the Ohio State. That one goes out of play off the hands of Williams. As Ohio State will get the point. As both of these teams will switch sides. Ohio State with an 8-6 lead.
Yeah, Ohio State has crossed the halfway point first. 2-point lead over Maryland. Terrapin's got to find something here quick. Every point so crucial. Of course, this fifth set, 1st to 15.
The crowd is getting into it. There's just under 30 seconds here, and we're back to take the court. You're also getting into it there, Zach.
I mean, how can you not?
I know, how can we not?
Fifth set volleyball, an electric atmosphere.
This, as you mentioned, this atmosphere is electric. Maryland has to feed off that, trailing by 2. And back to serve for Ohio State is Mia Tumen. Tumen over the net. Williams had it. Flips out to Wagner. Malawal with a strong punch. Saved there by Hasbrook. Over to the Maryland side of the net. Wagner over to Melby. Melby spikes it over. Saved there by Tumen. Hasbrook. Nevaeh Gauthier. Over to Wagner. Wagner to the near side. Has Melby. Flips it out. Over to the Buckeyes. Carr. Punches out Malawal with a strong serve. And that hits the net. Excuse me, strong spike as that hits the net. As Ohio State has a 9-6 lead. Adam Hughes will call timeout. What do you think his message will be in the timeout, Zach?
It's got to be, I mean, they're playing well, right? It's a 3-point lead for Ohio State, but Maryland is playing well. They're not making a ton of mistakes. A.J. Malawal not having the best day offensively. I feel like if there is a message, it's got to be spread the ball around, right? You got to find people who have had the hot hand. Sydney Bryant, Katie Scherer as of late, they've been scoring well. Sydney Bryant with 12 kills. That's her season high, her previous 11 kills against Illinois. You need to find the people who have been on it today. And that hasn't been A.J. Malawal for a long period of time. Of course, she still leads the team in 14 kills because she's just that good of a player. But hitting at a .093 hit percentage, that's not going to do it in a crucial moment like this. Ohio State close to 10 points in this fifth set. Maryland's got to find offense from some unique places that they want to find a way to win this one.
Yes, exactly, and they need to get other contributors into it as well, not just Malawal, as you mentioned previously. Got to get Bryant going, Melby, Gotcha, and others. They trail by 3 here in the fifth period. As we're back from the timeout, Mia Tumen on to serve for the Buckeyes. It's up. It's over the net. Wagner has a touch on it. Malawal try to spike it over. Sent back over to Melby. It's saved there by Hasbrook. Over to Tumen. Back to Gauthier. Gauthier over the net. Back to the Terps. Malawal winds and fires. Saved by Tumen. As Melby tried to put it over the net, she could not, as Ohio State gets another point. The score is 10-6 for Ohio State. As Adam Hughes will call timeout yet again.
Every point so crucial, you can really feel it here. Ohio State has reached the 10-point mark, a 4-point lead. They're on a 3-0 scoring run. Back-to-back timeouts by Maryland. They really need to find something quick.
Yes, they do. As you mentioned, time's running out here for the Terps. Trailing by 4 here in the fifth period. Every point is crucial. As Ohio State heads back on the court. Terps are finishing up with a timeout. They'll come back out momentarily.
Crowd trying to get the Terrapins going here. They got to find a way to bring that intensity if they want to claw back in this one, down 4.
Back to serve for Ohio State. It's Tillman. Over to Maryland. Modulal spiked it down, and that's what the Terrapins needed.
Just a picture-perfect A.J. Malawal spike, sending that one with heat to the dead space in the floor.
As Williams will serve for the Terps. It's Tillman. Puts it over the net. As Ohio State gets the point. It's Mia Stoller. Back to serve for the Buckeyes. A.J. Malawal with another strong spike that's inbounds. And the Maryland Terrapins are fighting their way back in this one. Back-to-back spikes by Malawal. Brings the Terps back within 3.
But they need to find a way to start stacking points. They can't trade points with Ohio State. That leads to a victory for the Buckeyes. The Terrapins need to go on a run here. Let's see if SoCal can start it from the service line.
SoCal on to serve. To Tillman. Ohio State gets a hand on it. Ashley Carr gets it. And Ohio State gets a point back, 12-8.
And that's a tough one, just barely deflects off a Maryland defender, goes out of play.
Asbrook with the serve. Over to the Terrapins. Rohrbach fires it up. Touch there by Jones, who bumps it out to Webker. Back to the Terrapins. Back to the Buckeyes. As Jones flicks it. Kennedy's there to save it. Over to Melby as Melby spikes it down. And the Terps get a huge point there, trailing by 3, 12-9.
And a huge save by Addie Kennedy on that one. Had the full force of that spike directed right at her. The defense wasn't able to tip it, but still able to stand her ground, dig that one out, and Maryland able to get the point.
Melby with the serve over to the Buckeyes. As Jones flips it over to net. Bryant with a touch on it as the Terps get the point.
And a big defensive error there by Hannah Jones. Back within 2. Maryland now has hit the 10-point mark.
Maryland has found their footing here in the 5th period.
This one coming down to the wire. Every point so crucial. Maryland has just got 2 in a row. Can Ohio State respond out of this timeout and put this one away? Or can Maryland keep fighting, something they have done all game? Of course, we saw those 2 middle sets. They seemed outclassed by this Buckeyes team, but they battled back in the 4th set, blowing them out of the water, winning 25-11. Can they find some offense here and get this 5th set?
That is the major question as we enter out of this timeout. As the Buckeyes will take the court. Hannah Jones getting her teammates fired up. As the Terps will come back out on the court as well. Melby will serve for the Terps.
An interesting defensive formation here for Ohio State. As
Tillman gets it for the Buckeyes, over to Hannah Jones, gets it back, And that's good news for the Terps as they get a point on that one. Defensive miscues by Ohio State leads to a point for the Terps.
Yeah, and Ohio State looked a little too bunched up on that one from the get-go. There was a lot of open space, and Maryland able to find it and convert.
Exactly right. Melby with the serve. Over to Tillman. Webker spiked it down, and Ohio State gets the point. 13-11.
Breaks that scoring run. Only 2 points away now.
Good save there by the Terps. As Bryant punches it over to the net to Webker. Webker over the net. Good save by Williams. Williams punches it to Sokol. Bryant still in the air. Tillman over to Jones. It's kept alive by Sokol. Over to Williams. Williams to Bryant. Bryant, strong spike. Just out of bounds as Ohio State gets the point.
And that's a heartbreaking point. Sidney Bryant just sends it long. And now Ohio State on the door.
Jones could not get the ball over the net, and that's a Terp point.
And that was so very close to bouncing over the net. Sokol had no idea where that ball was for the Terrapins, but luckily goes on to the other side. Service error for Ohio State.
As Warbach will serve for the Terps. Over to Webker. Webker over to Tillman. Back to Webker. Good stop there by Warbach. As it goes out of play, Ohio State gets the point. And that is all she wrote here from College Park. Ohio State wins the fifth set 15-12 and wins this match by a score of 3-2. Heartbreaking loss for the Terps as they were in it all game long. Ohio State just had enough to edge them out in this fifth set. Your thoughts, Zach, on this match?
Yeah, it's a crucial, the first Big Ten win for Ohio State. Now 1-12 in the conference. Maryland falls to 1-12 in the conference. Ohio State resilient all game long, able to capitalize on Maryland's mistakes, find the points in the tough spaces, and able to convert and win this one in 5 sets. A hard-fought battle, but a well-earned win for the Buckeyes.
Yes, exactly. So hard-fought battle on both sides, but especially for the Terps. They were in it all game long. They just couldn't finish it off down the stretch late in that fifth set, and that's ultimately the difference maker in this match here. Well, we'll be back on the radio tomorrow because the Terps have a early noon start against the Michigan Wolverines. They come into this building tomorrow at 12, so be sure to tune into that one. But that'll be all for us here from Shonwell Pavilion. For my broadcast partner, Zach Koehler, I'm Cam Crossett. Thank you so much for listening to WMUC Radio. Y'all have a great evening. Cam Crossett signing off.